So, good evening, YouTube. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday evening. Um, Good news. Well, it's kind of good news. It hasn't officially been done yet, but Mustafi to Galatasaray is looking ever closer, which is fantastic. If it happens, it's obviously got to happen. It's not happened yet, but he changed agent the other day. He changed to a new agency. I didn't know Eddie Nketiah did as well. Eddie Nketiah has changed. Quite a few players have changed in this last couple of weeks. Have changed new agents and stuff like that. I mean, obviously players do that quite a lot, but for so many to do it so quickly whilst the Christmas period was on and coming up to the transfer window just seemed a little bit weird, especially Mustafi's one. And the reason I wanted to speak about Mustafi is obviously he spoke in the Europa League press conference with Unai Emery once. Can't remember what game it was. I think it was Frankfurt away, I think. It might have been the Liège game. I'm pretty sure it was Frankfurt. But yeah, he spoke in that press conference about being close to a move away in the summer. And he said that the deal wasn't right for him, meaning obviously the terms of the contract probably weren't right, the playing time, stuff like that maybe. So I think that he's changed his agent now because he wanted to move. I'll come on to how I think he is as a player in a minute, but he wants to move, but obviously the deal wasn't right. And obviously his agent weren't doing his job properly, getting him the best deal. So I think he's changed agents to try and get a better deal. Now, every time he's played this season, I actually think he's played all right. I think he's been pretty decent. He's not been the liability that he has for the last 3 years or so before that. And I think he gets a lot of criticism. Listen, I've been on his case for a long, long time. But at the same time, this season, when he's played well, he's actually played really well. Now, that don't mean he's going to stay. I mean, I want him to stay. I want him to go. He ain't good enough. He ain't good enough for where we want to be. He ain't even good enough for now, if we're being honest. Europa League games, cool, against Frankfurt and teams like that, fantastic, whatever. Premier League football, week in, week out, he ain't got the he hasn't got the defensive capabilities. He hasn't got the reading of the game that's required to defend in the Premier League, and he looks out of his depth pretty much every time he plays a Premier League game. Last season, when we played against Palace, I don't even know what he was doing against Wilfried Zaha. He just let him run around him. It was like embarrassing. But he is on the verge of going to Galatasaray. I don't know how much the fee is. I haven't seen a reported fee. But his agent, his new agent, is talking to them. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be done this month. And that'll bring a bit more money in. We can go and spend some money elsewhere, maybe buy another centre-back. And I will say this about Mustafi. He gets as much grief as Granit Xhaka on social media, at the games and stuff like that. And he's never come out and done anything stupid. He's never slagged the fans off. I remember once he came out and said that he gets blamed whether he's played or not. But I think that was more just tongue-in-cheek than anything else. He hasn't done the Granit Xhaka one of just spitting his dummy out and going mental. So, listen, I wish him well. If he goes, hopefully he goes. And good riddance, really. Let's be real. Let's move on to Mavropanos very quickly as well. I ain't going to do this for half an hour. I'm way too tired today. So we'll just wrap this up as quick as we can. But Mavropanos is in, or his agent is in talks with about 5 different teams in Germany. Quite a few of the teams in Germany are looking at him. 22 years old. He's hardly played any football for us. I think he got a red card. I think it was Leicester. And then since then, he's just been in and out with injuries. When he played the other week, he looked out of his depth, miles out of his depth. And again, I've seen Arsenal fans big this guy up to be the next Tony Adams or something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's mad. But for me, he's never been good enough. He came in, he played all right in one game. I think it was against Man United, and everyone went mad about him. Which is what we do as fans. We go mental, very reactionary, and they have one good game and all of a sudden they're the best player in the world. So yeah, I think that'll probably be a good move. That's going to be a loan move. That ain't going to be a permanent one. But I think that's probably the best move for him. To be honest, I'd just sell him, just get a couple of million quid if we can, and move on and go for something else. Because I don't think he's ever going to develop into the player people think he's going to be. I don't think that he's ever going to be good enough to play at centre-back for Arsenal Football Club. And that's just my opinion on it. Other people might think he is and blah, blah, blah. Christos is fuming. Maybe you can drive him to Germany, bro. But no, I genuinely don't see anything in this guy that makes me think that he's going to be a great centre back. I honestly don't. And you know, there's so many other centre backs out there available that are better than him. Why not go and get one of them? Why are we relying on a kid that's 22 years old, played about 5 games for Arsenal, and just looked out of his depth in pretty much all of them? He's either got an injury in one, or he's got a red card in one, or he's looked absolutely rubbish. So I think it's time that we get rid of some of these players, get rid of some of the deadwood at this football club. I'm not saying he is deadwood, but let's be real, he don't play football matches for Arsenal, so why keep him? You know, just get rid of him, whether it be a loan or whether we sell him, just get rid. Ali says Mavro needs to be given a chance. Well, he ain't getting in over David Luiz or Socrates, let's be real. He's not better than Holding, in my opinion. He's not better than Chambers. And he ain't going to take us to the next level. The next level is a player like Koulibaly or Upamecano or someone like that. That's where we should be looking. That's where we should be going and getting players of that quality and not relying on some 22-year-old that's barely featured ever for the football club. So yeah, that's hopefully going to be a nice little January boost. Hopefully when them 2 deals go through, we'll be happy. But then the problem we have then is then going and replacing them. Listen, Mavropanos doesn't need replacing. Let's be real. He don't play, so we ain't losing anything. Mustafi, we do need a centre-back. Yeah, Mustafi's not the answer. Mustafi's hardly played. I think he's only played 2 Premier League games this season. I think he's only played 8 or 9 games in total. So it's not a massive loss. We don't genuinely need to go and replace him with another centre-back, but we are short on centre-back. So if we do get rid of them 2, we definitely need a centre-back. It's not necessarily replacing each of them, because they hardly feature. But with Callum Chambers out for the rest of the season, with Holding hit and miss, another one that's coming back from a massive injury, that he needs to step up. He's 25 this month, I think, and he ain't really done anything. I know he was good at the beginning of last season in the 22 unbeaten run until he got injured. But then since then, he's got the injury. He's then come back and looked out of his depth, which is understandable. Not played for nearly a year or whatever it was. Got run ragged up at Anfield in the League Cup game. And then the other day when he played, it was just like, Jesus Christ, mate, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing? And yeah, for me, go and get a centre-back. I don't know who that could be. Maybe Nathan Aki. Jerome Boateng's linked with us. I definitely don't want him. But he is better than Mustafi, let's be real. That shouldn't be the benchmark, but he is better than Mustafi. And I do think that we are going to do some business this window. I do think we're going to go and get some players, whether that be loan moves or whether that be a permanent signing. But then we've got to think as well, we've got Saliba coming in the summer. So are the club going to go out there and just plug a gap for now and just go and get a loan player? Or are they actually going to go out there and show some intent and go and buy a proper centre-back rather than loaning one? And then when Saliba comes in, we can pair them 2 together. We can get rid of Luiz, who will be in the last year of the contract. We'll get rid of Socrates, who's in the last year of his contract come the summer. And then we've got a centre-back pairing, then Holding, then Chambers. So then we'd have 4 centre-backs that are half decent, or 2 that are decent and 2 that are all right. Add Tierney into that, add, well, you could say Bellerin, but not really. You could put Maitland-Niles at right back, go and buy Max Aarons, then you've got a decent back 4. Then you kick on and do midfield. Granit Xhaka's still linked with a move to Hertha Berlin. Whether that happens or not is looking unlikely, I'd imagine. You know, Arteta wants to keep him, which is just baffling. I don't know. I don't get it. But there we go. Anyway, do drive the likes up. Over 300 people watching this live. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Crystal Palace are cheats. How have they cheated? What happened? Tell me. What's happened? Rate my Instagram videos out of 10. Big up Flozanelli. 10 out of 10, bruv. 10 out of 10. That one you sent me, the I.f.c. today, bruv. That was mad. That was hilarious, man. With the 2 little ones there, man. Proper funny. Tierney is dead wood, like Wilshere. He's injury prone. Well, let's give him a chance. He is injured, obviously, but let's see what he can do. I don't think we're going to see the best of him until next season anyway. So hopefully he can have a full pre-season with us and then kick on and be the left back. Because let's be honest, he's better than Kolasinac. He's better than Saka at that position. So Philip says, what about Tyrone Mings? He impressed me the other night, mate. I can't even lie. I watched the game against Leicester City, the cup game. I thought he was quality, man. He was really, really good. I see a bit of the Man City game today, but listen, Man City are relentless, and Aguero's now the top scoring overseas player in the Premier League. He's overtaken Thierry Henry with his hat-trick today. So all the comparisons are going around now. Who's better, Aguero or Henry? Well, listen, it's Thierry Henry, because defenders were defenders back then. They're not defenders anymore. Half of these defenders can't defend to save their life. Mings is too slow. Mings is pretty slow, but let's be real. Yeah, if you've got it in your head, you don't need to have pace. Yeah, which is why I thought Mertesacker was, at the time, Mertesacker wasn't the greatest defender ever, but he very rarely, I remember Diego Costa skinning him once, but he very rarely used to get rinsed because he had it in his head. Same with Tony Adams. Tony Adams weren't quick, but he could read the game properly. El Rossi says Cody or Dunk. I'll take either. Both of them are decent. I'll take Nathan Aki. Koulibaly, please. That's the dream. It's not going to happen, but it's the dream. Can't believe our fan base wanted Zaha over Pepe, says Jeremiah. Well, listen, he's got a funky Barnet and does a step over, mate, and everyone jizzes. Oh, Zaha. Man's got one goal and got 1 goal this season and has been pocketed by a midfielder playing at right back. Not good enough. Yeah, definitely don't want Zaha at this football club. Who do you think will be the top 6, says Anthony? Top 6, Liverpool, obviously. Man City. I think Leicester will fall away. I do think they'll fall away from top 4. So I'll go with Chelsea 3rd. 4th, I reckon the Scum are going to get in there somehow, man. I think they'll be 4th. Leicester will probably finish about 5th. And then take your pick. I don't know. If we need to step up some results, man. Otherwise, we ain't getting in the Europa League. But you got Wolves there, you got Man United there, and us. It's a lucky dip, isn't it? Sheffield United is still there or thereabouts as well. Certainly one of them, 4 for the 6th spot. KFC or McDonald's? Neither, mate. I haven't had one of them for years. I don't really. McDonald's ain't the one, mate. Trust me. If I had to pick KFC, but yeah, neither really. Leicester will finish top 4. Possibly. I mean, listen, they lost to Southampton yesterday after getting slapped 9-0 by them the other month. So I don't know. This league's weird at times, man. I think Arsenal can still make top 4 based on Chelsea's recent performances. Well, they won 3-0 yesterday, and I think they are 10 points ahead of us. And we're without Aubameyang going to the bridge next Tuesday. It's going to be a tough ask, mate. It's going to be a tough ask. Danny Ings has to get in the Euros squad. He probably won't. He probably won't because his name's not fashionable enough, mate. And he doesn't play for a fashionable football team. And Gareth Southgate chats absolute waffle about, I will pick players based on how well they're playing, etc., etc. Well, he doesn't. It's all lip service. I can't remember who he picked the other week or the other month, sorry. And I was like, he's hardly played a football match this season, and you've left somebody at home who's played game after game after game. I can't remember who it was. DVS Dallas, Coke over Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi, man. It's horrible. Other drinks are available, like Coke. Let's do some more of these. Let's do another 5 minutes or so. Do drive the likes up. 400 people watching this, so thank you very much. If Leicester lose Maddison, Chilwell, and Ndidi and Soyuncu, they are F. Vardy is 33. The other players are not good enough, says Pavel. I think Vardy's 31, actually, mate. But yeah, other teams are going to come in for them players, definitely. Fabregas tweeted, Mane's the best in the Premier League. Thoughts on that? Best player in the Premier League? No way. He's a brilliant player, don't get me wrong. I'd have him at Arsenal. I'd love him at Arsenal. But Kevin De Bruyne, mate, again today, that goal, yeah, for Jesus, that ball, that is a proper assist. So when people talk about assists, my man has literally laid it on a plate 3 yards out from goal after getting the ball, driving forward and whipping what a cross. Yeah, that is an assist. None of this, so let me pass the ball to you. You then run round 3 and score and you get given the assist. No, mate, that ain't an assist. That's a pass. Yeah. Today, Kevin De Bruyne showed why he's the best player in the league. The geezer's relentless and he's going to beat Thierry Henry's assist record. He's on 14 already. And he's actually got more assists today than Mesut Ozil's got in 12 months, which is pretty relentless. So there we go. Proper attacking midfielder. I bet Chelsea fans are gutted they let him go. De Bruyne is 10 times better than those. All coming exactly. Ain't even a debate, man. I'd say Van Dijk, Kevin De Bruyne, Mane, top 3 in the league. Well, listen, Aussie Goonite, hope you're well, mate. All 3 of them are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant players, man. And if you put all 3 of them, if you put De Bruyne in that Liverpool team, yeah, they'd be even more relentless. If you took out, say, I don't know, a Henderson. I know Henderson's a decent player. But if you took out a Henderson or a Wijnaldum and put De Bruyne in there, Jesus Christ, mate, they'd win literally every game. Yeah, but he is that good. I love De Bruyne, man. I love watching him play. Just love the way he runs at people. He's got every single attribute. He can score a screamer. He can cross a ball. He don't even have to look up, and he knows where the players are going to be. Literally lays them on a plate a yard out from goal, time after time again. Brilliant player, man. Lee, Spice Rum shelf needs emptying. No, I'm not on the spiced rum, but if you've got some, send it my way, mate. Bring back Pascal Sigon. Do you know what, Lewis? Right, I went to the Arsenal Legends game at the Bernabeu last June, not June gone, the one before. And yeah, we played against Real Madrid Legends. Pascal Sigan looked better in that game than he ever looked in an Arsenal shirt, for real, in the Premier League, mate. He actually looked really good. He's got as many assists this year as Ozil has in 3 years in a row. There we go. Apparently he's the assist king, mate. Kevin De Bruyne is the assist king. I wouldn't mind De Bruyne at Anfield, says Rabba. Big up, Rabba. Liverpool marching on to that title, man. De Bruyne is so overrated. Jeez. That's got to be a wind-up. Come on, man. When will we get some top players, says Arsenal Alex? Hopefully this summer. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get many in January, if I'm honest, but hopefully summer. And the thing is, I think we've got good players. Have we got players good enough to go on to where we want to be, or with the mentality? Listen, these players, I've said it time and time again, some of these players are a disgrace to the club, a disgrace to the badge. The way they pick and choose when they want to play is just wrong. And people can pin that on the manager. They can pin that on the board. They can pin it on the owner. They can pin it on fan channels. They can pin it on fans. At the end of the day, them players are paid an absolute fortune to represent that football club and turn up for work and do the best they can. Yeah, and if you go into work tomorrow and you don't bother working properly, and then you go back in the next day and don't bother working properly, then you do it again and again and again. Eventually, you're getting potted. Yeah, so just because these players are idolized by thousands of people around the world, don't mean they can take the piss and turn up when they feel like it. A lot of them, the money they get paid is just obscene. I think it's a joke how much money people get paid in football. Some of these players ain't even footballers, in my opinion. They're just athletes that can run fast, like Bellerin. He ain't a footballer. There's other players at other clubs I just look at and I just think, Jesus Christ, how have you made it, mate? Seriously. And then there's other players that are probably better than them that have never made it. And it's all about how the coach that you're like. Listen, obviously you've got to have some sort of ability, but people bang on about technical ability, this and that, right? At the end of the day, football's an easy game. You get the ball, you pass it to your teammates, and you try and score a goal. Yeah, you run your socks off, you get the ball back when you lose it, and you chase it. You go to the ball, you don't wait for the ball to come to you. It's not difficult. You defend properly, you do everything properly. Too harsh on Bellerin. Well, he is. Let's be real. He's just an Olympic sprinter, bruv. Yeah, or a fashion icon. He ain't a footballer. He's got the. I won't say what I was going to say. I was going to say he's got the touch of saying, yeah, but he can't trap a ball. He can't cross a ball. He can't defend. How's he playing for Arsenal? And obviously Barcelona signed him up as a kid. They obviously see something in him, yeah, but he ain't developed. Is that Arsenal's fault or is that his fault? Probably a bit of both. Probably not had the right coaches. Probably not had the right mentality himself. Probably had the injuries to go with it as well. That's probably a factor. He's been injured quite a bit. But he can't even cross a road, let alone cross a ball. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, now we've got Maitland-Niles, and I ain't getting too reactionary about Maitland-Niles, but I've been saying it for months. Yeah, Maitland-Niles is the best right back at the club. That doesn't mean he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he is the best right back we've got at the club. Yeah, and he has been for a long, long time. Nassim says he ain't even fast anyway. He ain't fast anymore. Let's be real. He ain't even a sprinter anymore, says Ben. He ain't fast anymore. He's lost so much pace. Maybe that's because of the injuries. I don't know. but that used to get him out of trouble, and that used to cover up his deficiencies defensively. Yeah, so his pace would always get him out of jail. Yeah, now he ain't got that. He's done, because without his pace, he's got nothing. So there we go. Sheffield United is going to be a tough game, says Moe's. It's going to be a very tough game, mate. They beat us at their ground. They've got a chance to beat us at ours. Danny Ings is on fire. Yeah, your defence is terrified. When are we playing Southampton next? Why does our fan base overrate Bellerin so much? Is it because he came from an elite club? I don't see what the majority of our fans see. I'd give my arm to replace Bellerin with Max Allen's. Well, listen, the thing is, he came from Barcelona. He does a lot of social media stuff for Arsenal on Arsenal's account. And people think that he's he's come through the ranks. Well, he ain't really, has he? We got him off of Barcelona, the same we did with Cesc. He ain't really come through our ranks, has he? Joe Willock has come through our ranks. Maitland Niles, players like that, Smith Rowe. Bellerin has not come through our ranks. We brought Bellerin, or gave compensation to Barcelona for Bellerin, whatever it was. And he broke into the team. He could run really quick. And I don't know. I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. People are tipping him to be captain. Jesus Christ. All right, Lee, you sexy bastard. How you doing, Jamie? You good, yeah? Hack says Yanku, Saliba, Boateng, Cavaselli, Bruno, Garamay, Sloboslai, Ceballos, Samori, Chalanoglu, Barco, about 100 to 125 million. What are your thoughts? It seems very easy when it's written down like that, my friend. But is there any of them that I wouldn't take? Probably Ceballos at the moment. The rest of them, maybe, I don't know. Listen, that Chalanoglu, I don't rate him, man. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist in about 20 games this season. He's playing in a shit league. Yeah, what makes anyone think he's going to come here and do it in this league? And he's going to be the next Mesut Ozil and replace Ozil. Well, maybe, listen, 2 goals is an improvement on Ozil's goal tally this season, so maybe he can. But it still ain't for me, mate. But other than that, your list is pretty sick, I can't lie. Would you have Sanchez back or keep Pepe? Well, Sanchez is finished, mate. Let him do what he's doing in Italy. THFC says, I remember when Bellerin said AFTV profit off a loss. Yeah, listen, mate, my man's been paid his full salary whilst being injured for about a year, mate. So he's profiting off of never playing. But there we go. There we go. Who do you think are the favourites for the Europa? Salzburg, Inter, Ajax, maybe us. Who else is in it? Man United in it? Yeah, the Man United are in it, aren't they? Yeah, maybe Man United. Although they're done right now, aren't they? I'm going to do 2 more minutes and I'm going to go. So do drive the likes up. Thank you to 450 people watching this live. And do subscribe. Thank you also as well to over 1,100 people that have followed me on Facebook. I set that up about 5 weeks ago. I've hardly used it. I have no idea what I'm doing on it apart from posting pictures. I don't know how to search anything. I don't know how to read messages. I don't know how to get DMs. I don't have a Scooby how to do it. But thank you, because 1,100 people is pretty relentless in 5 weeks from scratch. So if you're not following it, go and check that out. The link's in the description. So is my Twitter if you want to go and follow that. Not that I'm asked about that account. And my Insta, go and follow that as well. Nearly on 10K, less than, I think it's about 800 away from 10K on that. So thank you very much. I have a man crush on Danny Ings. Says Arsenal 10234. Whatever floats your boat, my friend. Thank you. Can we talk about Koulibaly and Upamecano will get Boateng? Yeah, probably. Thoughts on United signing Bruno Fernandes, says Hassan. He's a very good player, mate. Very good player. But it's always a risk when you sign a player from overseas, isn't it? You know, same with us. We all thought certain players are going to come in and be fantastic, and they've been crap. And Man United have got a record of signing a lot of players for big money that have flopped, going back over years and years. So Falcao, Veron, players like that didn't really do it. I hope he flops if he's signing for them. If he signs for us, then obviously I'd want him to do well, but he ain't signing for us, is he? Don't need another Ozil, need a De Bruyne or a Bergkamp. Exactly, Lee. When are you planning to come to Australia? Thank you for that, mate. I don't know, if I'm being honest. I don't know, mate. I can't answer that. But there we go. Right, listen, I am going to get myself out of here. Is Ozil a club legend? Are you on a wind-up? Is that a wind-up? Is he a club legend? Jesus Christ. He's a fortnight legend. But listen, thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow, 7 a.m, daily transfer update. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I will then be back doing the 2 streams at 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's watched live. Playback, obviously, don't forget to like the content and follow the socials. Have a wonderful Sunday. Laters, peeps.